have one. We're going to begin on our backs. So go ahead and lie down. Draw your knees into your torso. Part the knees, make room for your belly. And start to rock side to side. This can be quick and small. It could be big and slow. We're just creating a little bit of blood flow, a little bit of warmth, and softening those long cords of muscle next to the spine. If you bring your knees a little bit closer to your chin, that massage moves higher up the back. If you let your knees fall away, it moves down across the low back and the hips. And we get to feel this calming effect of rocking side to side. Let's quiet your hips. Settle into a long neutral spine. Set your feet down. Keep the knees bent. You can push into your feet, slide your sit bones toward your heels. Let the tops of the shoulders fall down. Arms rest at your sides or on your belly. Open the throat, close your eyes. Tune into your breath. We focus on the breath, and there's so many ways to focus on the breath. You could listen to the rhythm. You could feel the temperature of the breath, the cool air as you breathe in through the nose, the warmth as you breathe out. You could use your mind's eye to watch your breath travel in through the nose, across the back of the throat, and into the body. And then as you exhale, reverse that course and let go of anything that you don't need right now. We bring our attention to the breath to tune more into the body, to allow it to calm, to quiet the mind, and to be more focused. Settling into the full support beneath you, tuning into your breath, and then take a moment to set an intention for your practice. And again, that intention, I used to feel pressure when I was told to find an intention. Oh gosh, what should it be? It can be as simple as remembering to breathe. And it could be to focus on a body part that needs extra attention. And it could be something very grand, sending your energy, your thoughts, your prayers to someone or something in need. You decide. We'll bring the head to center, drop the shoulders, draw your knees into your torso once again. This time, bring your nose to your knees. Try to get your knees to your ears, round your spine. Take up as little space as possible. Warm the core. We'll wrap your arms around the back sides of your thighs. Set your hips down. Anchor with the arms. Begin to taper upper body. Shoulders. Lengthen the neck. Base of the skull meets the ground. And we start to feel this traction in the neck, the top of the shoulders, and in the low back. Breathe into it. And release. Go ahead and set your feet on your mat. Take them as wide as your mat, if not wider. Arms can fall out to a T. Knees fall into each other, and then they drop towards your screen. Come through center. Let them drop away from the screen. And one more time each side, releasing the hips and the low back. So in this practice, you're going to start out nice and easy, feeling good, and we're going to sneak into some deep inner openings. Walk your feet into alignment. Align the heels with your sit bones. Bring the arms down by your sides. Push down into four corners of each foot. Peel the tailbone off the floor, lifting the hips toward the sky. Keep the inner thighs active so that the knees track with the heels and with your hips. Zip up a hot zipper. So you pull the low belly in. You send the tailbone towards your knees. As you push down more with your strong legs, the hips lift. And if you push away with your legs, the weight shifts into your shoulders, lengthening your neck. Fully inflate your lungs. Come up high on the balls of your feet. Inhale, expand. Exhale, roll the spine down, one vertebra at a time. Eventually you get to a place where one vertebra at a time may not be possible. When you get there, pull the low belly in more, tuck the tailbone more, and see if you can set one more vertebra down. Eventually the hips drop, the heels drop, and we breathe. Let's draw your right knee into your torso. Take it slightly outside toward your underarm. Deepen that hip crease. Hug the knee in. Then notice if your shoulders curled up. If they did, drop the shoulders down. Continue to deepen that hip crease and slide the other leg out long. Knee and toe are pointed straight ahead. Back of the thigh is pressing down toward the floor. And we breathe. Back off just a bit. Take your hand to the outside of that knee. Arm falls toward your screen. And then draw your knee across your body, but keep the hip grounded. It's subtle. Again, trust it. We're not going to go crazy at first. We're not going to go crazy at all. We're going to just sneak into this. Can you hear my dog growling? Come through neutral. Hand on the shin. Let your knee fall towards the screen. Did your hips follow your leg? If they did, press that outer hip down toward the floor. Press the back of that thigh down toward the floor and feel a new opening in the inner thigh. Come back to center. Take a hold of the back side of that thigh. Reset your hips. If you're like me, your hip hiked up toward your shoulder. So square the pelvis, flatten the shoulder blades, bend and straighten. So you use the strength of the front of the leg to lengthen the back of the leg. And then hold the leg in extension. Maybe walk your hands a little further up the leg. Contract your abs. Pull your ribs to your hips. Bring your nose towards your shin. Soften shoulders away from your ears. And then take a look at this extended leg. Imagine you were standing on it. So you're going to realign ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder. Knee and toe are straight ahead. Keep the abs strong. Reach toward that other foot. 5 fired up breaths, literally. Hands come up. We lower the upper body. Biceps by the ears. So you're in a reclined warrior 3 here. Those of you that do warrior 3 on a regular basis, you'd be standing on this leg. But this is an opportunity to feel your thumbs, your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your heel all making contact with the floor, all in one plane. Remember this the next time you go to warrior 3. Take the sole of that foot, place it on your kneecap. Okay, this is one of the only times you'd probably make contact. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, arms out to a T. And now you're going to roll your knee away from your screen. Maybe keep the gaze in the opposite direction of the knee. And send your breath down the length of your spine. Can you get your back ribs to move with your breath? And then notice the sensation that follows, traveling down the spine. Come back to center. Set that foot on the floor and then the other foot. Reset your hips. Hug both knees into your torso. Bring your nose to your knees to your ears. So already one leg should feel a little different than the other. Wrap the arms around the back sides of your thighs. Set your hips down. Anchor. And then taper. Shoulder blades, shoulders, nape of the neck, and base of the skull. Find your breath. And release. Set the leg that's closest to your screen on the floor. Hug the other one into your shoulder, slightly outside. Set your shoulders back down. Continue to deepen that hip crease. Slide the heel that's closest to your screen away. The back of that thigh reaches to the ground. Knee and toe points straight ahead. So we get into this quad and hip flexor. We're deepening this hip crease. And we back off just a bit. Take the opposite hand of the knee, reach across to the outside of that knee, gently draw it towards your screen, but keep your hip grounded. Keep that extended leg active. And breathe. Come through center. Take a hold of that shin on the inside. Let your knee fall away. Again, if your hip followed, which is natural, notice that and press it back down into the floor. Press the back of that thigh into the floor, and immediately we wake up this inner thigh. Breathe. Bring the leg back to center. Reset your hips. Take a hold of the back side of the thighs. Set the flatten your shoulder blades down. Now bend and straighten. Are your knees grinding like mine is? Then we hold the leg in extension. Maybe walk your hands a little further up that leg. Contract the abs, bring your ribs to your hips. As the shoulder blades come off the floor, your nose comes up towards your shin. So maintain a level pelvis. This is an opportunity to look at this leg that's on the floor. Ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder are all lined up. Shoulders away from the ears. Reach and pulse for 5. Just maintaining a little heat in the body. Arms come overhead. Biceps by the ears. Reclined warrior 3. Energy through the soles of the feet, through the fingertips. Long lines of energy here. Active flexibility. Now take the sole of that foot, place it on your kneecap. Inhale, hands to the ceiling, arms out to a T. We'll point your knee towards your screen. Maybe look in the opposite direction of the knee. And then breathe into that space behind your heart. The back of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs. See if you can get your rib cage to move with the breath. Expand and release. And then bring it back to center. One foot on the ground, and then the other. Reset your hips. Draw your knees into your torso. Nose to knees. Knees to ears. So this time you can do like we've been doing and wrap the arms around the back sides of the thigh. If your knees are happy with it and you feel like you'd like to play with a slightly different opening, reach for the outer edges of your feet and drop your heels to your butt. Keep them there. Press your feet into your hands, press your hands into your feet, and then taper shoulder blades, tops of the shoulders, nape of the neck and base of the skull. Maybe it's a bigger opening in the neck and shoulders. Maybe it's a different release in the low back. Release your feet, soles of the feet to the floor. Walk your heels closer to your sit bones if your knees will let that happen. Arms at your sides. Press down into 4 corners of each foot. Peel the tailbone off the floor. Lift the hips to the sky. This time sweep the arms overhead, biceps by your ears. Active inner thighs. Push down into your strong legs. And this time, breathe into your side ribs. Imagine a fish breathing through its gills. Come up high on the balls of your feet. Inhale, expand. Exhale, roll the spine down, leaving your arms overhead, biceps by your ears. So we find length and space in the spine. The hips drop, the heels drop, and when the arms are overhead, we feel a nice opening in the chest, the shoulders, the upper back. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Press the elbows back to the floor. Active, press, press, press. Now relax. Take the weight of your head into your hands. Look down the length of your body. Plug your shoulders in. Release your neck. Release the head. Soften the shoulders down. The back is resting more readily on the floor, more surface area making contact with the floor. So now you're going to take a strap, a towel, a belt, a dog leash, and you're going to loop it around the foot that is closest to your screen. Plug your shoulders in. And then wrap your hands. So I don't have one, so you're going to have to use your imagination a bit. Wrap your hands into that strap, that belt, so that your arms can stay long or just hanging from the strap. Rather than pulling. If you're pulling on it, we're creating tension in the neck and shoulders. So hang on to it. If you can reach the leg and maintain square hips, wonderful. Draw your kneecap up your thigh. Firm the thigh, lengthen the back of the leg. Now if it feels right, slide the other leg out long. Keep that leg active, knee and toe straight ahead. Active versus passive, you're going to tighten up that quad. Use the strength of the quad and your core to bring that leg any amount closer to your torso. Then use your hands or the strap to assist, give it ½ inch. Check to see if your hip hiked up. If it did, square up and try it again. Use the strength of your leg. On the exhale, assist. One more time. Inhale, use the strength of the leg and the core. Exhale, assist, set the shoulders down, find your long lines. And back off just a bit. So you're going to take a hold of that strap with the hand that's furthest from your screen. The other arm falls to the floor. You can take a hold of a pant leg, you can take a hold of your sock, or you can take that strap. From there, you're going to draw the leg across the body, but keep your hip pressed into the floor. So your foot's only going to go a few inches across the body, right? 6 to 12 inches. We get into the SI joint, we get across the back of the glutes, outside of the hip, the IT band. Breathe. And then come through neutral. Take a hold of both sides of that towel, that strap, that belt. With the other hand, opposite arm falls to the floor. And you let your leg fall toward the screen. If that's a little too much, bend the knee. Did your hips follow that leg? If they did, press the hip back down into the ground. And breathe. Soften the shoulders down. Always working with space, with long lines. Bring it back to center. Give it a hug. Set that foot down. And switch legs. So you're going to take the other leg up in the air, loop your towel, your strap, your belt, your dog leash around that foot, or take a hold of a pant leg. Settle into your hips. Tighten the quad to lengthen the back of the leg. Drop the shoulders. Let the arms be hanging, right? And soft rather than tugging we're creating tension. Slide this leg out long. Keep the knee and toe pointed straight ahead. And then draw that kneecap up. Use the strength of the leg and the strength of your core to pull your leg any amount closer to your torso. And then on your next exhale, use your hands to give it a 1/2 inch. Check to see if your hips shifted. Square up. Knees and toes straight ahead. On the inhale, use the strength of your leg. On the exhale, assist. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, assist. And then back off just a bit. You're going to take a hold of both sides of your strap or your pant leg with the hand that's closest to your screen. Draw the leg towards your screen. Keep the hip grounded. And breathe into it. So another great use of your breath is to recognize if you're holding your breath. If you're holding your breath, we may be going a little too far into the posture. And our bodies are too smart for that. If you go too far into the posture, it just goes into defense mode. It says, I'm not going to let you do that today. So instead, check in with your breath. Make sure that you can breathe, or start to breathe to tell your body it's okay, I can do this. Come through center. Take a hold of both sides of the strap or your pant leg with the other leg. Let that leg fall to the side. Flatten the shoulder blades. Energy through the soles of both feet. Check to see if your hip followed. If it did, press it into the ground. And breathe. Bring the leg back to center. Give a little squeeze. Release the strap. Set one foot on the floor and then the other. Reset your hips. Hug the knees into your torso one more time. Nose to knees, knees to ears. Round the spine. Warm the core. You decide. Wrap your hands around the back sides of your thighs or reach for the outer edges of your feet. Longer limbed people may even cross at your wrists and reach for the opposite edge of the foot. Set your heels or hips down. Bring your heels to your hips. Taper upper body. Breathe. Release your feet. One more time. Heels lined up with the sit bones, arms at your sides. Push down into your strong legs. Lift your hips to the sky. Pull your low belly in. Zip up a hot zipper. Tailbone lifted, active inner thighs. Your hands may reach for each other. If they do, you could bring the palms together. Tuck one shoulder under and then the other. Breathe into the top of your lungs. Broaden the collarbone. Release the grip. Come up high in the balls of the feet. Inhale. Exhale, roll the spine down. Hips drop. Heels drop. Set one foot on an invisible chair and then the other. Arms come out to a T. Activate the inner thighs. Let your knees fall towards your screen. And if you'd like to take it out of the low back, bring it a little bit, knees a little bit higher towards your elbow, and that'll move more into the rib cage area. One knee at a time or both. Take them to the other side. The higher the knees, the more we get into the thoracic spine and less in the more vulnerable low back. One leg at a time or both. Set the feet on the floor. Reset your hips. Moving to your relaxation posture. We want to absorb this practice in a long, neutral spine. If it's better on your back to keep your knees bent, stay here. If you like more of a traditional Shavasana, extend the legs. Arms come 6 to 12 inches away from the hips, palms up. A level chin. Close your eyes if you like. Press into your heels or your feet. Send your tailbone toward those heels. Let your belly drop. Flatten shoulder blades, tops of the shoulders down. The palms are turned up in a position of both giving and receiving. Slightly tuck the chin, reach through the crown of the head, lengthening the nape of the neck. Soften your brow, close your eyes if you like. Let the eyes fall to the back of the head. And one more time, come back to your breath. One more time, come back to your intention. Stay here as long as you like. If you're ready, roll to one side, maintaining this peaceful, easy feeling. Find the simplest transition into a comfortable seated position. And just settle for a moment. Grounding down through your sit bones, rising up through the crown of the head. Find this long, spacious spine, softness in the neck and shoulders, softness in the gaze. Sweep the arms out and up on a giant inhale. On the exhale, bring your hands to your heart